Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This is release 1.3.0, and we're going to discuss some of the major features that were released. So let's get started with the first one, which is the ability to run reports on a schedule. And there's also now a history of every report that was run. We're saving that so you can go back and view previously ran reports. We've also simplified the way you write templates. There's some quality of life improvements, which we'll go over after we discuss the scheduled reporting feature. All right, let's open up our demo box and we'll go to reporting manager. The first thing you'll notice, there are two new buttons here, one for report schedules, one for report run history. So now if we run a report, I'm going to search for, by the way, there's some new community reports that were added. This is an example of one of them. Big shout out to Silver Sword for creating these. He's been doing some nice work lately with updating some of the templates and making them look pretty, adding functionality. And you can go on our Discord in the sponsors reporting channel to see a full list of everything that was updated. And if you don't see these in your instance, you can come here to share templates, and this is where you'll find them. And here's import them. So let's go ahead and run this report to see what it looks like. And this is HTML. So open HTML report. So we can filter by operating system here. Your Mac and Linux clients, as well as Windows versions and stuff. Now, if we come back here and we click on a report run history, we'll see an entry created with the date and time that we ran the report. And if we right click and open HTML report, we will see the same report again, but this is the actual snapshot of the report. And obviously it looks the same because I literally just ran the live report. But if we go back to the live report, you'll see that the URL is a little bit different. This is the live report, and this is the history. So this will be a snapshot of the report. If I were to come back and run this report tomorrow, this data might change. There might be some new data here, but the history will always show the snapshot data. All right, so now let's talk about scheduled reporting. So we'll go ahead and create our first scheduled report. We'll click on report schedules, click new. And let's say this is a daily OS report for customer XYZ. And we'll go ahead and choose our report template. I'm going to choose the comprehensive report for this. And if the report has a dependency, which this one has, I believe it's a client dependency, this dependency box will pop up here. And we'll go ahead and select client 1 because I think that's where all my demo agents are. So this is an HTML report. However, you can choose whatever format you want here. It does not have to match what the report was created in, but you probably want to choose the same type. And then next we need to create a schedule. And because I don't have any schedules yet, go ahead and create one. And we'll just say this one is daily at 5 p.m. And we'll save that. And now we can select that schedule. And by the way, this schedule is a global setting now, so it's a new feature that was also added. Let me go ahead and show you that. Let's go ahead and open up a new tab here. And if we go to settings, global settings, there's a new entry here called schedules, and here you can manage all of your schedules. Click add schedule. We've got daily, we've got weekly options, and then monthly. This should look familiar. This is similar to how the tasks work. But now this is a global setting, and eventually this will replace the UI for the task. So you'll be able to globally manage and edit schedules for not just reports, but also scheduled tasks. And if we needed to edit it, we can just come here and edit directly here, and that will edit it as well in the reporting schedule. All right, so back to the report. We need to select a time zone because you notice the schedule menu does not have a time zone. So let's say, this customer is in Europe or something, and you are in the US and you want to send it at 5 p.m. European time. So let's just say like we want to send this, let's say they're in Germany, right? So we'll just choose Berlin here. You don't have to choose one. If you leave it blank, then it'll just revert back to whatever the global setting is, which for me it's Los Angeles because that's where I am. I'll go ahead and clear that. Now, if we do want to, we don't have to send this via email. By default, it is checked. But we're going to go ahead and send this via email. You can obviously uncheck that if you just want it to just run without sending an email. And if you don't add anything here and you mouse over here, you'll see that it'll populate your email recipients that are defined in your global settings. So you can either leave that or we can, add emails here. And this will override. You can add more than one, as many as you want. I'm just going to leave it the default for now. And then finally, we can override the email content like the subject, body, etc. So by default, subject will be scheduled report and then the name of the report, but you can add something here. And then we can set a custom body if we want. By default, if you don't add anything, it'll just be the words your report is attached. And if we wanted to, we could override the attachment name. By default, it's just the name of the report, and the extension is added automatically for you, so you do not need to add that. And that applies to HTML and PDF reports. If it's HTML, it'll be .html. For PDF, it'll be .pdf. However, when it comes to CSV reports or plain text reports, which we'll cover in a little bit, you will see this UI change and you will be able to specify the extension name. We're going to just leave it the default for now. And the last option is you can include a direct link to view the report. This will just append it to the bottom of the email body. This does require a tactical RMM account. So if for some reason you wanted to also have your customers log in and view the report live, they could do that as well. We're not going to do that for now. We'll just hit save. And we'll save this. And here's our report. And it would run at 5 p.m. We don't want to wait till 5 p.m. to test this, obviously. So we can actually run these manually too. And this will just run it in real time and send the email if it's set to send an email. So we can right click, run scheduled report. So let's check the history tab and we should see it there. We could view it here if we wanted to, but let's go ahead and actually see if it sent the email. Okay, there it is. Go and open it. Here's the subject we set, the body, and the HTML attachment. Go ahead and open this. It's probably going to just be the raw HTML, so we actually need to download it and save it. And let's go ahead and open that so you can see it is a local HTML file. It's not live or anything, fully offline. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering where this tactical reporting came from, that's actually a global setting here. I just went ahead and in email alerts, I went ahead and overrid the from name. If you leave it blank by default, it'll just use whatever's set in your email provider. So let's go ahead and try something else. Let's go ahead and edit this so we can right click to edit. We can also clone it if we wanted to, create a new one and just have some settings already set here. So we're just going to edit this. Let's pick a PDF report. Let's try this one. This needs a dependency as well. And this will be PDF. And let's go ahead and just change this to PDF. So we could test out the attachment name, save that, and go ahead and run that. All right, let's refresh here. And there it is. And there is the PDF attachment. The title's changed. Loads. Yep, it is. Okay, so let us now go back and test CSVs, plain text. Let's choose a CSV report for this. How about this one? And we'll say this is a CSV report. Just leave it the name of the report name. And as I mentioned earlier, for these types of reports, you will be able to specify the attachment. If you don't, by default, it defaults to .text. Obviously for plain text, but if you wanted to, this is a CSV report, so I want it to end with a CSV, so I'm just going to type CSV here. You could also do like something like JSON. Let's say your template is formatted for JSON and you wanted to have a JSON file, so you could do something like that. But we're just going to do CSV, hit save this, and let's go ahead and run that. And let's see, come back here and refresh. And there is our CSV. Take a look at that. Looks good. All right, let's go back to the dashboard here and wanted to show you two new items in the context menu right here in the reports manager. So if we right click on a report, the first thing you'll see is schedule report, which is new. And if you click on that, it will open the add report menu with the report already selected. So it's just like a little shortcut. And the next one is email report. So this lets you send a one-off email without having to create a report schedule. And you can see the UI is similar to the scheduled reporting one, which is without scheduling options. We've already been through all this, so I'm not going to do it, but this is a way to just quickly do a one-off email to a customer or something. So a big quality of life improvement to the reporting module is this new feature we added called properties. So properties are functions that return an array or a string of data based on one or more existing database fields. So previously, you could query only raw database fields, and then you'd have to do a bunch of parsing, formatting, etc. in the actual template to extract or make it the data that you need, or make it look pretty. So now we're exposing these properties. These are internal functions that we already use, not necessarily for reporting. We use it to display certain data, like in the agent table or the summary tab. So we are now exposing this in the reporting module to make your lives easier. And to show you an example, we're going to focus on the CPU model. And so let's go ahead and pull up Reporting Manager. And for this, I'll quickly explain the setup here. There is a shared report called OS Operating Systems version 1.8. And if you don't have it here, you can go to Shared Templates and search for it and import it. But I already did that. So let's look at this report real quick. Just a operating systems report shows you just really the operating system by client. Now I've gone ahead and made a copy of that and I've modified it a bit. I've just added a column here to show the CPU model. So we can see the modified report shows the CPU model, and this is just for the demo here. And this currently uses the old way of doing things. So you can see we first need to query the WMI detail field. And then we have to first check to see if it's Windows. And if it's Windows, we do all this crap here. If it's not Windows, we do this, which is a little bit simpler, but this is a back-end thing that, it's due to the way the data is structured in the database. The point is we have to do, this is really ugly. And so now with properties, what we can do is we can add a new field in our data source called properties, and then we just add the value directly. So let's do that. So we want properties, and let's do CPU model. And we can get rid of all this code here, comment it out for now, and we'll do item.cpu model. Take a look at that. So this is it's actually an array. So we need the first element of that array. So we'll just get that here, and there you go. Much easier. So you can find the full list of fields on the documentation. That would be in reporting, data queries, properties. And some of these are probably not going to be useful. A lot of like I said, this is not necessarily to do with the reporting module. These are internal functions that we use for various things, but we're just exposing all of them so that you do have access to them in case you want to use them. For example, obviously serial number is a big one. So we can do this, and we just have to add that here. And that'll give you the serial. Oh, by the way, this is blank because it's a VM. I guess on Linux we're actually adding an unknown value here, but these are all VMs. That's why this is the only one. This is a physical system. That's why it has a serial. If you wanted to not have it blank, you could do or and not available because whatever, like that. Let's look at one more. Local IPs. This is a lot of people ask about this one. Let's do this. See what kind of format. I think it's an array. Let's just say IPs. Whoops. That extra quote in there. All right. Well, it looks like we stripped the array already, so it is just a list of strings. So yeah, those are some examples. And if you're really curious, you can actually find these in the code. If you look in the models file of every app, there's a models file. This is where database models, and then if we search for that property, you can see how they're actually defined and how we actually do the logic to get the data. So let's look at CPU model. So again, documentation for that is here. If there's something that not here that you think that should be here, if you want us to add something, just go ahead and let us know on Discord. We have a dedicated channel on Discord just for reporting stuff, so you can ask in there. You can open an issue on GitHub, say, hey, I would like this, be able to query this. Can you add this property or whatever? And we'll go ahead and do that. The next feature that was added from our roadmap is the ability to uninstall software. So a quick demo of that. Let's find a Windows agent, go to the software tab. You'll see there's a uninstall button now. Let's do Google Chrome as an example. So first thing you'll notice is the actual uninstall string. And you have the ability to edit this. Two reasons for that. First, just do a quick sanity check, make sure that this is actually the command that you want to run. On the off chance that computer's infected and you have some virus or whatever that has written a malicious string to the registry, we obviously don't want to just blindly execute that. Second reason is you wanted to, like, for example, this is MSI, so let's say we wanted to add logging or something, right? So if I wanted to do here's a tempter from.log. Copy that. So we could do that if we wanted to add a silent switch or something. Obviously, it's already been done for you because it's an MSI. So we actually add this, inject this into the string. You could set a timeout for how long this uninstall command should run. Pretty high by default. And then, of course, if it needs to run as user, you could select that here. We're not going to do that because it's an MSI. It needs to run a system. So let's go ahead and just uninstall this. So a history entry will be created in the agent's history tab. This doesn't have any output because MSIs do not output to standard out. But if we go back here and we refresh, we'll see that it is gone. And if we wanted to see that log file that we actually wrote to, let's go ahead and see if we can do that. This. And there it is. So a quick note about the permissions that are needed for any non-super users to uninstall software. So you will need the manage software. That's an existing permission that lets you currently install software, but now it also lets you uninstall software. There's one additional permission that you will need, and that is send commands, because this is actually just running a command in the background. So for any non-super users, you will need to make sure that both of these are set. So another thing I wanted to show you in this release is if we go to Script Manager, and if you are not aware of this, there is a little menu here where you can select the columns that are visible, so we can hide certain columns. And in previous releases, this was not persistent. So if I refresh the page or open a new tab or something, everything would be selected again. So now it is persistent. Let's just go ahead and hide a bunch of these, and we'll refresh. And you'll see that it does persist. And this is actually going to be coming to all of the tables eventually. I know there's a request to customize columns, especially in the this table right here. So that is the beginning of that. It will eventually come to every single table, but for now we've just added it to the Script Manager. There is a very large rework going on in order to make that happen across all the tables in our web interface. And that has also been applied to the folder view. So for example, if you expand a bunch of folders here, it'll actually remember this. So if we refresh and open it back up, you'll notice that not only is it now folder view, but also remembers the expanded state of the folders. So that's about it for the major features. Make sure you read the release notes. There's lots of little bug fixes and fix some race conditions here and there. And coming up in the next major release will be white labeling, which is a highly requested feature. We're almost done with that. Didn't quite make it to this one, but it should be in the next. And then of course we've got our patching rework. That's a pretty big one, so that is taking some time, but we're making good progress on that. And finally, we'll demo this one real quick, the background registry editor. We're actually almost done with this. And I recorded a little video of it and posted it here yesterday. So I'll go ahead and just play this so you can check it out. And that's it for the video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.